live presentation where I'm about to show you the secret sauce on how to really navigate the market, how I pull off these amazing feats that I pull off, and you can pull them off too. I done made it so easy, so simple. It's really child's play, as far as they like to say. So I am Fontaine the Titan, the king of account setups, and I'm going to show you how we do things at here at Team Tighten Up. And I want y'all to understand that day trading is a phenomenal understanding of how to be able to make money, right? And it's something that technically most people have never heard about, and it's something that's been hidden technically from us for a lot of years, been banned from us for a lot of years, especially those, you know what I'm saying, that we consider so-called black out here in this so-called America, right? And so I say, hey, I like to stick it to them where it hurts, you know? They don't want to give us no bread, then I figure out a way to extract it back out. That's just me, you know what I'm saying? And I take this very, very seriously, and this is a skill that I think that everybody should have. I think that every family should have a doctor, a lawyer, and a day trader. And it's a dynamic that we gotta really wrap our minds around, wrap our heads around to really get the point here. I'm gonna take my time and show y'all because it's gonna be a lot to take in. You know, a lot of new concepts that you might not quite get off the tops if you've never heard of any of this before. But just stick with me. Trust me, because this whole process is really about trust. It's really about trusting thyself, more importantly than anything. But we go get to that, you know. And so what we do is we trade the ES, which is the S&P 500 on the New York Stock Exchange, right? Everybody has the assumption that the market is always going up. Everybody will tell you, go get some stocks, go just get into the market, get, you know, IRA or whatever. Just get into the market. The market is always going up. And that's fair enough because over the course of time, the longevity of the market overall, yeah, it does always go up. But however, there is a pullback in the market all the time, every single day, in which the market goes down. As you heard, that the market can crash. The market doesn't technically crash all the way out; it just pulls back. So when they're billionaires are taking profits, then that's when the market usually tends to crash, and that's when everybody usually goes haywire. But as a day trader, we don't care whether the market is going up or down. We make money either way. We make money whether the market is going up or the market is going down. It is so very simple. And with the system that I have implemented, it is damn sure like taking candy from a baby. It's like waking up in the morning or in the middle of the night and just robbing the bank, you know? That's what it comes down to. I'm gonna show y'all how really easy it is, but first let me try to explain to y'all really the concept, right? Let me explain to y'all the concept. Let me get it together here, right? So you can make a whole heap of money here. This is where millionaires are made. The stock market is where millionaires are made, right? Let me see. Trying to take my time here, make sure I got everything lined up for y'all. Let me make sure journey. And this journey is going to have its ups and downs, just like the market got its ups and downs. But I'm going to tell you what, on a straight up tip, it is one of those dynamics to where if you stick with it, you will be successful. And I got the easiest strategy, the easiest way for you to be able to navigate through the system, navigate through the market. So we go start with the first concept of what y'all gonna have to understand if y'all gonna be a trader and what we are trading here. We're gonna be trading futures, right? And the futures market, is so what we do is we use OPMs, we use other people's money. All right. We use the leverage of what they call prop firms in order to be able to extract more money out of the market than we will be able to using your own capital. All right. So first of all, that's what basically a prop firm is. It's a proprietary firm. You pay them a fee, and that for that small fee, they'll give you the capital to be able to go trade with. And I know it sounds like it's too good to be true, but it's really not. It's a business model that's wrapped around the idea of trading futures. And if you become good at it, then you will get your funded account and be able to actually extract profits from the prop firms that gave you the capital in the first place, and those profits become yours. Their percentage split is usually a 90-10 split. It's a lot of different prop firms out there. I use the prop firm called Top Step. I think Top Step is, out of all of them, the best ones. They got other ones out there, and as you scale up, you could probably want to use all of them, because that's how people become millionaires. You know, you max out one prop firm, then you get another prop firm, you get another prop firm. Each prop firm allows you to have a certain amount of accounts, you know. Top Step allows you to have 5 accounts. So as you grow your accounts, that's how you end up scaling up and being able to grow up to making 10,000, 20,000 and plus and more every single month. So it's just really a dynamic system. So the real question is people ask is like, all right, well, how exactly do you trade? You know what I'm saying? How do I get in and get out? That's the biggest question that most people end up asking me about trading. Like, People think that that question could be answered over a dinner. You know what I'm saying? I'm at dinner for my sister, her birthday. She wanted to go to what's the name of it? Bahama Breeze, right? Because they about to go out of business, and that's one of her favorite restaurants, you know. So I take, you know what I'm saying, my son up there, we go all up there, we having a good time, we eating. They like, how the trading going? I'm like, it's going great, whoop de whoop. They like, tell us how it works. I'm like, all right, I'll tell y'all how it works, but I can't do it just over dinner like this and just like show y'all and y'all think y'all about to go and make some money. It's a little bit more complex than that, but it's also not as hard as you think. So, you know what I'm saying? This is for all those that think that it's hard. It's not. It's really about being set up right. If you got the right setup, if your system is set up in the right way, if you have your account set up in the right way, your screen set up in the right way, and you're able to navigate your screen in an efficient manner, then you will be successful. You know, if you know how to follow the rules of the game, and that's really the main thing, because you create the rules of the game in trading. And if you got rules that you can't follow in your own trading, then you're going to be unsuccessful. And most people need to develop that discipline to be able to be successful in trading, right? So let me show y'all what we got cooking. Let me show y'all what we got cooking right here. Let me get it cracking, 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 cracking. Let's get it cracking. money tip, because having basic computer skills, that, hey, they really cheated us out of the game. You know what I'm saying? They really cheated us out of the game. A lot of y'all older people really don't got no computer skills, and it's really unfortunate. I'm going to suggest that y'all go take a class. I'll teach you as much as I can over Zoom and all of that, but you got to be proactive about really enhancing your basic computer skills. You got to know what left click is, right click is. You got to know how to scroll. You got to have to know how to open up apps and download apps and have be able to move around, open up screens, and so it's not necessarily anything that's complicated, but I know it's a lot of people that don't do things like that, and not necessarily, or they have other people that do things for that in their lives, But if you want to be able to trade and trade with me, you're going to need a laptop and a mouse, stable internet, and some basic computer skills, on a straight up tip, and it'll save your life. This is life-saving information. You actually need the basic computer skills anyway, but if you don't got them, then just understand, just get a little bit. That's all you need, is a little bit. Somebody to teach you a little bit of what's going on, and you will be absolutely fine, And so let's get into the things that you don't need. What you don't need. You don't need to be great at math. You do not need to be finance, what I put, I can't even see that. My eyes are squinting up on me. But you don't need what you think. You don't need multiple screens. You don't need to be great at math. You don't need years of experience. You don't need none of those things that you would otherwise think that you would need. This is not people overthink of what they actually need here. Just some basic computer skills, and I'll teach you the rest. You do not have to be super educated, went to Harvard, went to Yale. Yeah, that used to be the case to learn all of this, but when you got the simplified version, somebody to give it to you and speak to you in your language and convert it from their language to our language to a digestible way for you to be able to inhale it and really take it and make it your own and be able to be successful from here. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it's all about. And you really don't need much. All you really need, you just need structure, you need patience, and you need discipline. Everything else will come. Structure, patience, discipline. If you have those things, everything else will come. I guarantee you, those are the main ingredients of being successful in the market. Most people don't have the proper structure. Most people don't have the proper setup, and this is what changes the game. You can't be out here hopping from system to system thinking that you're going to continue to be successful in the market. You can't be out here being inconsistent, not taking it serious. You have to really engulf yourself into this life, into this lifestyle, And most people don't know that patience can be developed, discipline can be developed, but it takes a certain amount of practice. It takes repetition. It takes for you to understand how to follow your rules here. You have to really dig into yourself, because it's a whole nother greater you that's on the other side that you haven't even seen yet, you haven't even tapped into yet. A lot of people be expecting results so fast, and this ain't the name of the game, to where you gonna think that you can come in here and make money in 3 days, 2 days, 10 days, 2 weeks. It may take you a while for you to understand the charts, especially if you've never seen them before. In a second, I'm gonna show you what all of this looks like, but if you've never seen any of this before, it's gonna look like a foreign language to you. It's gonna look like somebody dropped you off in the middle of Spain, and next thing you know, boom, you gotta learn Spanish, and you've never speak a lick of Spanish in your life, right? Eventually, if you were immersed in that culture long enough, you're gonna figure out that hola means hello. You're gonna figure out gracias means thank you. You might not necessarily end up understanding the whole entire language, but you will understand uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. You will start to get there. You know, especially if you got somebody to help you, then you will start leveling up faster. And that's what this is all about, to be able to give you the information and level you up faster. Look, y'all, I am not a gatekeeper. That's the reason I'm doing all this, because I am not a gatekeeper. So I'm going to give it to you real. I'm going to give it to you raw. Pause. And so here go the 5 steps that you really going to need to take here. You know, this is the 5 steps that you're going to need to take to be successful with my trading system and Team Tighten Up. It's not a complicated system, but it's going to just take repetition, and it's real easy. I'm going to give y'all the easiest trading system ever, where all you got to do is just click a button when you see an arrow. That's it. And the science of it is just knowing which arrow to pick. That's it. The way my settings and everything, more likely than not, you will be able to pick the correct arrow. Once you learn market structure and everything that's designed around it, it's just going to become like child's play. You'll win most of the time, you know, and all you got to do is be able to keep your composure, stay in your trade, and you will be successful, right? So the first thing you're going to do is open up you a Charles Schwab account, right? You're going to open up you a Charles Schwab account and download the Thinkorswim platform, right? You're going to open up a Charles Schwab account and you're going to open up the Thinkorswim platform, download the Thinkorswim platform to your desktop or your laptop. Get the desktop version and download it. This is what you're going to do. You only can get the Thinkorswim platform through Charles Schwab. Excuse me. This is where you get that from. All right. And we use the Thinkorswim platform because they really got the best charts. It's absolutely free. You get real-time data, right? You get real-time data, and you join Team Tighten Up, and I will give you the Tighten Up MACD screen. And once you activate this Tighten Up MACD screen that I sent to you, then boom, you are off and running. You are off and running. So this is the next step. This is how you get involved. You get this screen, boom, right here, right? And as you can see, right? As you can see, let me see here. Let me try to read this off for you exactly. As you can see, all you got to do is hit the green button or the red button. When you see the green arrow, you hit the buy button. When you see the red arrow pointing down, you hit the sell button. It's really that simple. That's all you're doing here. When you see the green arrow going up, you hit the buy button. When you see the red arrow going down, you hit the sell button. And those buttons are on the Top Step platform that I told y'all about, right? So on that Top Step platform, once you are signed up and you have everything in order, right, you're going to get to your screen that looks like this, right? You go to topstep.com and they have the options for you to be able to get a $50,000 account, a $100,000 account, or a $150,000 account, right? And so with that $50,000 account, y'all heard me. I said for $109, they go front you 2 bands. for you to be able to, boom, get in the game with, right? Now, with that being said, this is the most dynamic way. If I had to start all over, and I had absolutely nothing, and I ain't had nothing but $109 left, this is where I would put it. And I would use the skills that I've acquired to scale up my account, continue to grow, and be, again, right where I'm at right now. It is so easy for nothing but $109. No bullshit, y'all. Part of, because on some 100 tip, like, trading the market is easy. Trading the market is a lot easier than you think, you know, and it's one of those things to where you have to learn it. You got to learn it. You got to be willing to commit to yourself. You got to be willing to commit to taking on the idea of actually trading the market for yourself, right? And so let me see. I'm trying to be able to share my other screen, but it's not letting me. But in the general sense, that's the general concept of how you trade. And I'm gonna be dropping a lot more gems, a lot more jewels, a lot more, what I'm saying, game about how to actually, do it. Like, subscribe and share, what I'm saying, this information, because it take a lot to try to put all this together to show people. You know what I'm saying? And to really, really show you, you got to really join the workshop. Because if you never learned any of this before, you're going to need something. You're going to need mentorship. It's just no other way around it. You're going to need mentorship, and you're going to need a team. You're going to need a community. You're going to need people to lift you up and build you up around this, because it's not as easy as you think, but it's not as difficult as you might think either. Because the biggest challenge is going to be the change within you, the change within yourself that you're going to need. You know, that's going to change your mindset. The all is mind, the universe is mental. In the workshop, we gonna go over. I'm gonna teach you all the universal laws, how that applies to the market, how to really be patient, understanding the law of repetition. You know what I'm saying? The laws of sacrifice, how to really look at the market and know where the market is going, that market structure, and how to be able to combine market structure with the MACD red light, green light system. You know what I'm saying? With the MACD tighten up screen, you know? And so, hey, come trade with the winners, man. This is the most dynamic system that you could really be a part of. And I look forward to everybody actually joining up with the workshop, with the team. And for those that's not, that's all you got to do. I just gave you the instructions. I gave you everything that you need to get started. Gave you absolutely everything that you need to get started. All you need is a laptop, you need a mouse, download Charles Schwab, get the Thinkorswim account, set up your charts. If you need assistance with your chart setup, link is in the description on how to get in contact with me so I can assist you with those through a one-on-one, help you to share your screen and send you the MACD, tighten up link with the arrow so you could be able to get in and out based on the market structure and how it presents itself. How to use higher time frames to be able to tell whether the market is going up or down overall, using the lower time frames to be able to get precise entry points to extract 20 points out of the market every single time. you know it's really a concept that I really wish that more people would know about. A lot of people don't know about day trading because we've been lost in another life, another lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And that lifestyle, it's not paying you. You know what I'm saying? These corporations is not paying nobody for real. And you gotta really invest in yourself. You gotta invest in the time that it takes to really learn this. You know, and you can't put a time limit on yourself. And the stock market time don't exist. The only thing that exists is you. It's the only thing that exists is you, your patience, and you waiting on your moment to be able to execute. That's the only thing that matter. And so it don't matter whether it take you 6 months, a year. Just start learning it, because the faster you start learning it, or the earlier you start learning it, the more you will have an advantage on the people who haven't learned anything yet. Because a few years ago the market wasn't this volatile, it wasn't moving as much, but the more and more people that know about it, the more and more money is going to be involved in it. And the market getting at all-time highs, things like that, and y'all got no idea, and y'all sitting up there still scared of the stock market. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's something to adjust to and get used to, understanding that that's going to be a new part of your life. You got to learn how to fit day trading into your life, into your lifestyle, and until it eventually becomes your life and your lifestyle. And you probably are doing something else right now, and that's cool. That's okay. You do not have to quit your job, because the futures market is open 23 hours a day. And so all you got to do is make you your own routine, make your own schedule, so that you could be able to take that and apply it. And eventually you're going to be successful with it through the repetition. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to trade at 6 p.m., trade at 6 p.m. If you're going to trade at 3 in the morning when the London session starts, trade at 3 in the morning. You can trade at 9:30. You can trade the 12 noon drop, or sometimes it's a 12 noon, 1 o'clock drop. And so, you know, It's plenty of different times that you could be able to be successful in the market. And so you don't have to think that just because you're not trading during the daytime that you can't be successful. A lot of the biggest moves come from trading at night, you know? And just the other night, it went up 100 some damn points, from like 7 p.m. went up all the way all day, 100 points. That's how the market move. And if you in the market, you're going to be able to extract those profits up out of it. It's real easy. You know what I'm saying? And so I really love day trading. I really love day trading. And I believe that if you was to learn it for yourself, you would love it too. Because it's an excellent way to make money, and you do not have to this is where the millionaires live, y'all, And if you're on the path to profitability for yourself, you don't necessarily have to be a millionaire, but this could definitely replace your job. It definitely can. Once you get good at it, you develop the skill, it could definitely replace your job. It could definitely give you tenfold, 100-fold if you become consistent and stick with it, And that's really what it's all about. It's really all about consistency, repetition, knowing thyself and being able to extract the best part of yourself out so that you could be successful in the market. That's really all it is. But with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this live. Get with me if you want your account set up. I am Fontaine Titan, the king of account setups. Like, subscribe, and share. The easiest path to being successful in this market. The team tighten up, MACD system, So everybody have a peaceful, wonderful journey. I'll see y'all on the next live. Peace.